Avarie Howard here in Lincoln for Tuesday media availability. We heard from Coach Rhule, Rocco Spindler, Dane Key, and Dasan McCullough. I'll get straight to Coach Rhule because he covered all the bases today. However, he did start the press conference with a rather lengthy injury report.
Guys who will miss spring ball. Tristan Alvano will be limited. Demetrius Bell will miss spring ball. David Borchers back at some point, but not initially. Jameer Khan, Connor Keneally, Turner Corcoran, Jalen George, Gunnar Gatula, Roger Gradney, Sua Lafuta will be limited. Henry will be Latofsky will be limited. Mac Markway will be out. Dawson Merritt out. Pierce Mooberry out. Carter Nelson out. Teddy Prohaska out/limited. Keelan Smith out. Evan Taylor out.
Right before this press conference started, Pat Stewart was announced the new general manager for Nebraska football. Coach Rhule expanded on why he wanted Stewart here in Lincoln.
Well, Pat's been a part of five Super Bowl teams, right? He's been part of 3 NFL teams. I've worked with him twice before, which, it's that when I say that, that's not friendship. That's knowing how adaptable and versatile he is. We're moving into a space in personnel where no one really knows what lies ahead, so you just need really smart people.
Coach Rhule was also asked about some of these scheduling changes that have recently been announced. Although he knows his athletic director, Troy Dannon, and himself are taking some heat for it, he touched on more of the reasons as to why this was an important decision.
Everything that Trev said has shown up. So now it's about who has the money to both pay their student athletes through revenue share at the maximum amount and still provide the services for everybody. So there's going to be a lot of schools now that are going to butcher their athletic programs, right? They're going to just say, you know what, hey, these are basically club sports. Now they don't get to eat in the training table anymore. I don't want that. I do not want the training table to be like just football and a couple other sports. I love walking in there and seeing the tennis team in there. I like being a part of all those student athletes. And so the Olympic sports, the non-revenue generating sports, I want them to have life skills. I want them to have elite medical care. I want them to have psychological services. I want them to have academic services.
Getting to some of the new faces we heard from today, starting with Rocco Spindler, the Notre Dame transfer, he shares why Nebraska was the best fit for him and also his first impression of being here for the last few weeks.
Looking for a trust in my position coach and the head coach, and where I can get to the next level and where I can help them now. I mean, they're tough as nails. To get through match drills and not just to get through it but attack it. It speaks for itself. It's no joke for Coach Campbell and what they have what their team doing.
A transfer, he hasn't been here long, but it's not hard to tell that he's already speaking the language of that O-lineman room.
There's a standards, offensive line. You got to play 5 as 1, and it's not just the 5 best guys; it's the 5 guys that see it through one set of eyes.
Sticking with the offensive side of the ball, we heard from Kentucky transfer and wide receiver Dane Key. He shares exactly why Nebraska was the place for him.
Dylan was one of the first people to text me when I entered the portal, and it was also because Coach Shorts was also here. But Dylan was one of the first people that texted me, and when I came on my visit, I think Dylan was with me every second of my visit. So I like to pay attention to the little things, and if the guy throwing you the football is around you on your whole visit, most of the other schools didn't do that. So I was just okay, this guy wants me to be here, and he wants to throw me the football.
He also shared a small little piece of what Coach Holgerson told him at the end of his visit that motivated him to come make his name known here in Lincoln.
If you don't want to be that guy, then stay in Kentucky. So he told me to stay in Lexington if I didn't want to come to Nebraska and be that guy. So that made me want to come show Coach Hogue that I'm that guy.
And lastly, Dasan McCullough, the Oklahoma and Indiana transfer on the defensive side of the ball, shared exactly what his mentality is this offseason and the mindset he's having going into his last season of college football.
And Trent, we talk about that every single day. We text each other throughout the day, too, just making sure we're staying locked in. We know this is our last opportunity. Me and him have connected, really close since we've gotten here. So, it's just we're approaching it with a pro mindset this whole season, this whole off season as well. So it's been good for us.